How's it going, everyone? So I have my training footage from this week and another really good week for me. Setting PRs nearly every workout. Definitely can't complain about how things are going for the most part this week. This was Tuesday, my first day training. Main lists here are squat and bench, as they've been the past 2 months. I think I've been running this kind of cycle. I haven't been tracking online as religiously as I used to. I have just like a training notebook I keep most of my stuff in. I will be tapering not this week but the next week. So in about 10-ish days I'll be maxing out probably on squat and bench. Probably no need for deadlift at this point. But I'll be maxing out on squat and bench and tapering my training, and then just kind of see how I want to do another cycle. It's kind of depend. I may do something more bodybuilding friendly depending on how I feel. This week I had some strange things with my knee during squat, and I think it just may be a volume tolerance right now where I'm squatting 3 times a week. And it used to be like my middle day was kind of a lighter day, but no longer. I really don't have any lighter squat days, to be honest with you guys. So that was a huge PR. You just saw me hit there, 365 for 5. Just a few short weeks ago, that was a pretty heavy single or double for me. So to be able to hit that for 5 is awesome. Bench press is also going well too. I have made the change recently, if you guys have been watching, to pause bench. So honestly, the numbers will definitely go down, but I don't compare obviously my pause bench to my touch and go. So this was a PR though, a pause bench PR for 5, which was 220. I was really happy with that one. This is probably the first time in a while that all 3 of my lifts are going up without any kind of struggle for the most part. I mean, I'm working hard, don't get me wrong, but nothing really feels grindy this week besides one workout, which I'll talk about. This was a really good day for me, so I finally pulled the 405 for a triple last week. That was 335 warm-up, my last warm-up set, and this was a big PR for me. This was a 10-pound PR, so this was 415 for a triple. Again, I was kind of surprised how fast it started off the ground here. With my form, it's kind of, a broken record with talking about me hitching. You can see my heel come off the ground there. But really, it's just a thing of being disciplined and getting in more and more reps of shoving my hips through. So right here, just thinking hips. As soon as I get to my knee, hips, and not think about my back. Definitely my pulls have come up a lot recently, especially if you see the pulls later on in the week. But that's not to say, of course, 425, what did I pull later, is nothing extravagant. I definitely have a lot more potential in me, so I have to learn to, outside of just getting stronger, learn to perfect my form even more. I definitely want to be able to pull with a flatter upper back. That's a big part of it to me, and then also just being more efficient as far as pulling a straight line. I feel like I do a pretty damn good job now of keeping my hips downer, not so much having them shoot up, and I think just keeping them a little bit high as I start my pull corrects that problem a lot. So those 2 days went awesome. This was the really struggle day. This was my 6 to 8 squat day, and I just had some incredible knee pain. It's my patella tendon, which I have osgood-slaughters. If any of you guys are like basketball players, probably know what that is, just from playing basketball on concrete for hours and hours and hours. I played a year of college basketball, so that's pretty much all I did. One time I was like 13 to like 19 was play basketball all day. And it just felt horrible this day. This was 325. I think I just hit this for like 2 sets of 6, and I just called it a day because it literally hurt so bad. It's my left knee. Again, that patella tendon. These even looked a little bit shallow, and I was leaning forward too much, and it wasn't my normal squat rack. Just kind of everything was off. So again, you kind of just have to learn that not every day you're going to be setting PRs. So I learned to kind of not call it a day, but went on to my other lifts there. Did pretty good on overhead press and stuff like that, and later on in the week things went good. So this was probably my best lift of the week. This was 425 for a triple. This is kind of, again, same story here. Really pleased with this lift. But the main thing I need to work on is just like literally those last 6 inches. You see I have pretty good speed off the ground, but just locking out is kind of rough for me. I tend not to just shove my hips through. But yeah, I'm working on it, definitely getting better. And on these higher rep sets, these are back off sets of 5 at 80% of that, I really tried to even kind of put an arch in my lumbar spine. And I know I would never really tell anyone a coaching cue to actually try to arch their lumbar spine. But sometimes, especially with myself, giving myself a kind of over-exaggerated cue of literally trying to arch my lower back as hard as possible. I'm not going to be able to pull this weight with an arched lower back, but if I think arched lower back, I'll probably just end up pulling in a more flat position, which is what I actually need to do. So this was 360, I think, 350, 360, something like that, for sets of 5, and I thought these were a little bit more challenging with my back flatter, but again, I need to learn how to pull with the more of a flat back. But nonetheless, the deadlifts were freaking awesome this week. 425 was my goal for the end of the year for a single. So being able to pull that for a triple right now is amazing. This was my last day. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, keeping that rolling. So this is my last day here. This was my second set. This was 365 for a relatively easy double. And last week I hit 375 for a triple. So this was going for 380. I was pretty geeked up for this set, as you can tell here. I don't think there's anyone else even in the damn gym at this point. But really pleased with this. And more importantly probably is, for the most part, outside of just like being kind of tight in my hips and always kind of hurting a little bit, these felt really good. Definitely nothing in my knee, which is what was really concerning me. So I did some different kind of mobility work, not only leading up to this, not only immediately before this, but the days prior. I kind of took a lacrosse, if you guys can visualize this, I took a lacrosse ball and laid on my stomach for the most part and had the lacrosse ball right above my knee and just kind of did some flexion extension for a few minutes there a couple of times a day. I think I saw a Kelly Starrett video about actually talking about patellar tendonitis, and that was one of the few things he recommended, and it helped a lot. Again, it's not like it's not there, but the thing is I just don't want it to be so much where it's feels like I'm going to injure myself, right? So yeah, 380 for 2 sets of 3 actually felt amazing, and I will be going for that 405 in about a week and a half, so I'm really excited about that. This was a triple PR for me. Hit this twice, 235 for a triple touch and go. Looking up at my wall right now, my big 3 goals for bench press were 250, 265, and 280. That 280 seems kind of monstrous right now, but I definitely think I can get that 265. Maybe not in a week and a half. That might be a tall challenge, but definitely think that 265 is attainable, and you never know with the 280. Bench press is a hard lift for me to build up, but I'm going to go after it. And this was, again, like I said, my knee's been kind of bothering me, so I've been kind of limited, like with lunges, and I don't like to do leg extensions for the most part. So for my kind of hypertrophy work, I did my heavy squats, and then I got this from Ben Rice. I pretty much just went back to, I didn't get the idea of going back to squats from Ben Rice, but he does some higher rep work with like limited rest periods. So I did 3 sets of 8 here, like 1 minute. I think there's just 225 here. But it's 3 sets of 8 with a minute in between for some more hypertrophy stuff. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.